Hi there and welcome back. We were reviewing the different elements of resting ECG or EKG and agree with the feedback I have received so far. If we continue to dive deep into the various impairments and the aspects of resting ECG, this presentation series will no longer remain at intro level. So let's move on. What is the current trend? The current trend in the industry is, you will notice, is to minimize the use of resting ECG or EKG and instead a simple blood test called anti-ProBNP has widely been used by many insurance companies in the industry. And there are some obvious reasons for that. When it comes to the resting EKG, there are some disadvantages like more expensive, costly. It causes inconvenience to the customers, and there are false positives. So there may not be a real cardiac impairment, but still it may appear as if there are some concerns. So that causes some frustrations, and it multiplies the submission to commission cycle by ordering more requirements and clarifications and things like that. So as opposed to the disadvantages of resting ECG, there are advantages over using the anti-ProBNP as a screening tool. Less expensive, convenient from the customer standpoint, simple blood test, and plus it is more reliable and efficient in pinpointing the cardiac and circulatory disease. So with that being said, if we want to study the anti-ProBNP, let's talk about what is BNP. Since its discovery in brain natriuretic peptide is primarily released by heart muscle cells in response to increased cardiac wall stress as well as and/or probable ischemia. So that's BNP. Now it can have active and inactive form. In the insurance industry, it's the inactive form that we are dealing with, and that is known as anti-ProBNP. And the reason being, for our purpose, we measure anti-ProBNP because it is more stable and easy to process. Okay, and it is used primarily for all kinds of cardiovascular disease. And also make a note that it may also be elevated when you have a renal failure. Okay. So when I say cardiovascular disease, it is widely used to assess. When we say cardiovascular disease, it could be congestive heart failure, it could be coronary artery disease, it could be valvular heart disease. You may have a hypertrophic heart disease. You may have AFib and pulmonary hypertension, just to name few. So that's the anti-ProBNP as a screening tool, widely used in situations like this to better assess the extra mortality. Now, there are correlations when it comes to the anti-ProBNP, and when we look at the gender, so you will notice that women would tend to have a higher anti-ProBNP compared to men. Then another correlation is as we age, the NT-proBNP would progressively increase. And last but not least, but if you have a heart disease versus healthy heart, when there is a disease, you will see increase in the NT-proBNP. So these are the common aspects and the best screening tool that NT-proBNP is known for. Couple of other things that you may want to make a note of is the fact that, as we know, that there is a correlation when it comes to CAD with diabetes or peripheral vascular disease. So NT-proBNP is an excellent screening tool because we know that the combo means extra mortality, and it could be easily visible if we have NT-proBNP on the blood test while underwriting any life insurance application. So that correlation really helps, is an excellent screening tool, and that's why it is gaining more and more popularity in the industry. Additionally, make a note that there are non-cardiac related surgeries, so whether short-term or long-term, morbidity or mortality risk assessment, when it boils down to, again, NT-proBNP is one of the best screening tool available out that can be of use. Given the transition from resting ECG to NT-proBNP, why don't we do this? Let's look at the all coronary risk factors when we meet again. Okay? See you soon.